This is going to be a short video, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for it, but I really don't care because somebody needs to ask to the writers of this episode, could you suck dick any harder when you wrote this dick-sucking fanfic piece of shit episode? I mean, this episode should be on Pornhub under the tag Throat Pie Compilation. Because, and here's the funny part, all the dicks you were sucking were each other's anyway. I mean, I have to apologize to all of the people who write fanfic. I'm not trying to establish that fanfic is by default, crappy writing. I'm referring to, the 12-year-old who's writing fanfic for the first time. That type of fanfic, okay? And that's what this was. That's what this episode was. I mean, Black Panther or, T'Challa or Star-Lord or whatever you want to call him in this was such a Mary Sue or whatever the male equivalent or the male version of that is. I mean, everybody was just slobbering all over this guy. I mean, Korath, okay? Star-Lord, do I have your permission to try and punch you? Do I have your permission to try and shoot you? It's like, this isn't even fanboy idolization. This is just, and he was able to, T'Challa was able to convert the Ravagers to be, I love this, to be like Robin Hood and steal from the rich and give to the poor. I would explain to me how T'Challa, as a child, even knew about the Robin Hood movie or story, okay? But his father stopped him from having any knowledge of the outside world beyond Wakanda. So his father's going, T'Challa, we have no need for the outside world. They are a violent, warlike race, but I want you to watch this Errol Flynn movie called Robin Hood. That I want you to be exposed to. How did T'Challa as a kid even know who the hell Robin Hood was? I know it's a small thing, but it's stuff like that that establishes the bullshit hack writing of this show. They just pull shit out and go, does it make sense? Who gives a shit? It's not like you audience members caught that. We realized how stupid it was for T'Challa to be able to know who the. But then we have Thanos. I loved the absolute Mary Sue, again, whatever the male equivalent is, in regards to T'Challa with Thanos. Thanos wants to, kill off half the universe. Yet somehow had this conversation with T'Challa, and T'Challa talked him out of it. Like, you want to impress me, writers? Explain to me what the conversation was, and exactly how T'Challa was able to book the time with Thanos to even have this conversation in the first place. Because I would have loved to have heard that. I would have loved to have heard that conversation. You know why? It would have been goddamn helpful if he did that. I don't know, during the Infinity War movie, maybe? Like, and not only did T'Challa get Thanos to not want to kill half the universe, well, apparently Thanos still wants to kill the universe, still thinks killing half the universe is a good idea, but somehow, convinced him not to do it. Not only did he do that, he actually convinced Thanos to give up his positions of power, his entire empire, the entire empire that he had built up, okay? T'Challa convinced Thanos to give that up and join the Ravagers so he could follow T'Challa and I guess the rest of the Ravagers. Like, how did that happen, you piece of shit TV episode? What level of again, whatever male version is, what level of Mary Sue is T'Challa that he not only convinced Thanos to give up killing half the universe, convinced him to give up his entire empire and become a Ravager and go, you know what? Instead of killing half the universe, here's an option. Here's option B, Thanos. Why don't we steal from the rich and give to the poor? And Thanos went, God damn it, T'Challa, you are the most amazing debater and charismatic individual in the entire world. Of course I would. Of course I'll give up my entire empire. Because at the end of the movie, when they do that episode, when they do that riot, who's he fighting? He's fighting the guards and lieutenants that were serving him in the goddamn movies. Because they now serve the collector, I guess. It's I could talk about all the stupid in this episode, but it's like what's the point? Because and if you're offended by what I just said about this episode, I really don't give a shit, to be quite honest, because if you liked this show, if you didn't have a problem with this episode, then in all honesty, your opinion has absolutely no value to me whatsoever, because I can easily invalidate any complaint you have about what I just said and any defense you have for this show. Okay, I'll give you some examples of the stupid, okay? This one's one of my favorites, right? So the Ravagers go to Earth, right, to get Quill, but they end up getting T'Challa. Except the episode shows that they knew they got the wrong kid. So it's like, okay, you got the wrong kid, you got T'Challa, you know he's the wrong kid, you know what the right kid looks like, so take T'Challa, put him back, and go get Quill. No, instead of that, they go, well, we got the wrong kid, let's not actually get the right kid, because this episode needs to be forced to talk about and make T'Challa Star-Lord. So we're going to keep the wrong kid and not bother getting the right kid? Like this is, how do you defend this level of stupid writing ass bullshit? This is hack bullshit writing. Okay? And if you're still offended, and if you're still and you still have a problem, all I got to do is show any clip with Korath, I think his name is, or Thanos. Thanos, I swear, I think it was like around the 10-minute mark when they first have Thanos talk. When I heard what Thanos said, I was like, I almost didn't want to, I almost stopped watching it there. I literally stopped the episode and I went, I need to take a break. Like, the level of because what they did to Thanos just invalidates this episode by default alone. Okay? And then we got the Collector. This is to show how goddamn useless the writers of this show are. Okay? You have the Collector and he opens up that weapon display case. And what do we see inside? What do we see inside? We see Cap Shield and we see Mjolnir. And we have Hela's headgear. Now, the writers simply put those in as, Easter egg type things. Like, oh, look at the references. Without actually realizing the implications of doing that. Well, if the Collector has Cap's shield, then Cap's dead. What happened to Captain America? If the Collector has Mjolnir, Thor's dead. Well, what happened to Thor? They don't give a shit. They don't give a... Like Hela. He has Hela's headgear. Well, what happened to Hela? What happened to the battle with Surtur? The show doesn't give a shit. The show doesn't give a shit. Because it doesn't care. It doesn't care. Okay? This episode killed off Thor, killed Captain America, just so that it could have their gear on a display case so you can go, oh, I recognize those items. And by the way, this is the same universe as the MCU movies we've all seen. The only difference is, right, T'Challa ended up becoming Star-Lord. So because of that, Captain America died by what? The Collector's hands? Thor died by the Collector's hands? How did that happen? Like, how did that happen? I mean, it's episodes like this and scenes like that that establish that it's written by, brain dead, fake comic book Marvel zombie fanboys who think putting in references is what makes them comic book fanboys, and geared to brain dead, fake comic book Marvel zombie fanboys who go, oh, since I recognize that reference, that makes me a comic book fan. Well, in today's bullshit fake comic book geek culture fan base, you're right. That's exactly what makes you a comic book fanboy. Recognizing the references, but actually caring about the characters, caring about story, caring about plot, caring about, anything else is literally irrelevant to you. Okay? And as much as it feels like I'm banging my head against the wall, I will keep making videos pointing out how brain dead fake comic book fanboys you are, how brain dead stupid you are, how brain dead stupid these shows are, how brain dead stupid the writers are, and how brain dead stupid you fans of this show are. Because somebody has to do it, and I'm here for you. I do this for you. It's just the kind of guy I am. Because somebody needs to point out all the stupid you people are too stupid to even know are stupid. Okay? Because it's not like anybody else reviewing this episode is going to tell you how stupid it is, because they're either too busy, gag choking off of Disney, or they're, pandering to their audience. Because, let's be honest, there's no money in making videos like this. Forget there's no money in making videos like this. There's no goddamn views in making videos like this. Believe me, I know. Okay? It's not like my channel is going to suddenly grow anytime soon. I have no delusions of that. But, there's nothing more to say. I mean, that's... I already wasted, 30 minutes watching this episode. Yeah, I'm done. That's it. I'm out of here. See ya.